Okay, so here we are back in our herb shop at Mountain Gardens, and I was just going to give you a quick rundown on these tonic longevity herbs that are used in Chinese medicine. This is kind of a category that didn't really exist in Western herbal medicine. There are some things called tonics, but they're basically just digestive aids, like yellow gentian. Whereas the sense in which I'm using tonic here is like health promoting. And in fact, it's the same word as tone, like a musical tone. You know, you have a rubber band and you stretch it and pling, the tire you stretch it, pling, 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 and then blam, it breaks. Or if it's too slack, it's pling, 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 blah, 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 you know. So there's optimum tone, muscle tone is the idea for human health. Like, you don't want everything to be too flaccid and, you know, having prolapse of organism. You don't want everything to be stretched so tight that you're going to have a stroke or something either. So it's the same idea that there's optimum tone, and what these tonic herbs do is tone the different organs. So this category of tonics exists in Chinese medicine and also in Ayurvedic medicine, where they're called rasayanas, which is usually translated as rejuvenative. Quite highly developed in Chinese medicine. These are all tonics from here down to here. So that's a major action of the herbs. And in Chinese medicine, they divide it into tonify the qi, that is to say the energy, tonify the blood. And then there are yin tonics and yang tonics, which of course relates specifically to one or another organ. You can't just tonify yin. You're going to be tonifying the yin of the lungs, or the yin of the kidneys, or the yang of the kidneys. So the yin and yang tonics are specific for different organs. So these herbs have been used for a very long time. They're health promoting. That's what interests me. You don't have to wait till you're sick. You take these herbs not to get sick. And they're used in a lot of different ways. There are ancient classical formulas involving them. There's a 4-herb formula for the qi called the 4 gentlemen, and for the blood there's one called the 4 substances. These are sort of building blocks that you can then work off of to make a formula. You can put those two together and you get the 8 precious ingredients, or women's precious pills. That's the 4 qi and the 4 blood. You can add 2 more and you get the great all-inclusive tonic. So that's how it works. You sort of build up these units. So we want to go quickly through these and talk about specifically our specialty is growing these things. So I want to let you know which of these very important herbs we can grow. So the number one qi tonic is ginseng. This is Chinese ginseng, which we can grow if we can get a hold of the seeds for it. I noticed just recently that seeds are starting to show up on eBay, which is kind of exciting. Who knows? I haven't ventured there yet to see if you can get viable seeds. One thing about ginseng is if the seed dries out, it's dead. So that is to be aware of. Sometimes we have, in addition to the red ginseng, but I see we're out of it at the moment. The red has been steamed. The red is not really used much medicinally. It's more of a martial arts kind of thing. Dongshan is Cotinopsis, and it's too bad we got this chunky style. It should be nice, long, slender roots, but this is the creeping influence of, I don't know what to call it, Westernism. The Chinese always chop their roots as little as possible. This is doing this to the roots is strictly for the convenience of the supplier and to the detriment of the consumer. Because the more you chop it up, the more it's going to oxidize and go downhill. But Cotinopsis is a very easily grown ginseng substitute. We'll be doing a whole video on Cotinopsis if we haven't already. Taizashen, Prince Ginseng, never been able to get a hold of this plant. I don't think this plant exists in North America. If anybody's got it, please let me know. I'll swap you something good for it. Then we get to astragalus, the number one herb for defense energy. The qi kind of energy that circulates on the surface of your body and controls the opening and closing of the pores and so on. And that can also be honey fried. So we get our qi either from the air or food. So qi tonics are going to be going to the lungs or the spleen / digestive system. And this flavor that goes with the spleen is the sweet flavor. So if you want to enhance the ability of some herb to tonify the digestive system, you can fry it in honey, add more sweetness to it. That's what they've done here. Marinate it in honey and then fry it to get it dry. So that has more tonifying action. On the spleen, then we got Baiju, Atractylus, a very famous ancient longevity herb, which we have a couple of them. We really haven't gotten much success with that. And I don't know of anybody in America that has yet. Maybe we'll figure it out eventually. Shanyao, on the other hand, is a weed all over western North Carolina, and it's on a lot of people's invasive exotics list. It's also known as air potato vine. Dioscorea batatas. This is a true yam. It makes a big underground root. It's easy to grow and even rather weedy. It makes little aerial bulblets that fall down and they all grow. It's highly prized raw, fresh as a vegetable. They like to grate it and eat it that way. Medicinally very good for boosting the spleen, aiding digestion. And we'll do another video presently about using these herbs in cooking. Because a lot of these can be incorporated into meals. Dazhao, the Chinese date, Sisyphus jujube they're called, is a tonic, qi tonic. A good harmonizer for the other herbs. And licorice is the most prescribed of all Chinese herbs. Not the most powerful, but it does a lot of cool things, like go to all 5 meridians, like help with food poisoning. So if you're going to have any kind of possible reaction to the herbs, it's going to help neutralize that. It's also sweet, so it contributes to making the beverage taste better, whatever you're going to make. So, goes into a lot of formulas, and again, it's a qi tonic. It can be fried in honey. That's what's in here. It's all stuck together. Honey fried gansao, gansao. So that's just fortifying its action on the spleen. They've been soaked in honey and sauteed until they're dry. And then we have Siberian Ginseng. Not much of that, and this is in the form of a powder, which I hate to buy, but that's what's on the market. We are growing our own Siberian Ginseng. We'll be doing a video about that soon. It's actually a shrub, and this is the root bark. So, let's see, one more. This is the Chinese, one of the Chinese Solomon seals. This is one of my favorite herbs the last few years. Doesn't look much like a Solomon seal. It grows up almost like a vine. It has red and green flowers. We'll be doing a video on this one. And this has been treated by soaking in wine and then frying it, which enhances its ability to promote circulation. So that finishes up the qi tonics.